Ever catch yourself wondering why some folks seem to have money just kind of gravitate towards them?
Yeah, while you might be working incredibly hard and still feel like you're, spinning your wheels financially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today we're diving deep into something called money magnetism. We've been looking at some pretty interesting material on this.
And just to be clear, this isn't about some like secret trick to get rich overnight.
No, definitely not. It's more about exploring this idea, the potential power of your subconscious mind, maybe, and the energy you might be putting out there around wealth.
Right. It's about unpacking the concepts in the material, which suggests this, well, fascinating link between our internal stuff, thoughts, beliefs about money, and what actually happens financially.
So our mission today is really to get to grips with this whole money magnetism thing.
Well, look at the idea that your thoughts could actually be shaping your financial reality.
Yeah, and the material really emphasizes affirmations, these positive statements you tell yourself, their potential role in creating wealth.
We'll check out some examples, figure out how the source suggests using them properly.
Touch on some daily rituals they propose to, boost money attraction.
And even glance at some of the success stories that are mentioned.
But like always, our goal isn't to say, yes, this is definitely it, or no, this is nonsense.
Nope. It's about understanding the core ideas being presented, pulling out the interesting, maybe thought-provoking bits for you to consider.
Okay, so let's get into this foundational idea, the science behind money magnetism, as the source puts it.
It starts with this premise that money is a form of energy.
Right, and like energy, it flows where you direct your attention. It even brings up things like neuroscience and quantum physics.
Yeah, suggesting these fields somehow prove that your thoughts create your financial reality. It's making a direct link there.
Which is, well, it's a big claim, connecting what's in your head to what's in your bank account.
And what's really interesting is how they apply the law of attraction concept. They quote it directly. Like attracts like.
So the idea is, if you're always thinking negatively about money, I can't afford this, I never have enough.
You're basically attracting more of that lack, according to this view.
But if you flip it and consistently use positive affirmations like, money comes to me easily.
The source suggests your subconscious mind starts looking for ways to actually make that happen, to make it your reality.
Okay, and they bring in some concepts presented as, well, scientific. First is neuroplasticity.
Right. The basic idea there, which is generally accepted in science, is that our brains aren't fixed. They can change.
They can rewire themselves based on repetitive thoughts. So the more you focus on lack,
The stronger those brain pathways for lack become. That's the argument presented.
then there's the reticular activating system, the RAS.
Think of it like a filter. Your brain's bouncer, maybe? It lets in information that matches your existing beliefs.
So if you believe you're bad with money,
The source suggests your RAS might literally filter out opportunities or helpful info that contradicts that belief. You just wouldn't notice them.
okay. And then, this is where it gets maybe a bit more speculative. Quantum jumping.
Yeah, the idea of somehow shifting to a parallel reality where you're already wealthy.
It's presented as another layer, another way your thoughts could fundamentally influence your reality.
It definitely raises questions about how literally we should take these connections to, actual physics.
Absolutely. The source uses them as supporting evidence, but it's within this specific money magnetism framework. We need to keep that in mind.
But the core message here really boils down to that quote they use. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe.
So if you believe deep down that you'll always struggle.
That belief itself is what might be creating the struggle, according to this material.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk about the role of affirmations in all this.
Right. The source defines them pretty clearly. Positive statements, always in the present tense.
And the goal is specific, to counteract or override those limiting beliefs we just talked about.
Exactly. And the way they're supposed to work is through daily repetition.
Which, they claim, forges new neural pathways. Essentially, you're retraining your brain to accept wealth as your reality.
So instead of that inner voice saying, I'll never have enough money,
You actively replace it with something like, I have more than enough money.
and the idea is it's not just saying words. You're trying to reprogram the underlying belief.
The source gives a few key reasons why this is supposedly effective. First, reprogramming the subconscious.
Yeah, they throw out a figure like 95% of our decisions stem from subconscious programming.
Wow, 95%. So if that programming is negative around money,
It could be constantly undermining your conscious efforts, right? Affirmations are presented as the tool to rewrite that code.
That makes a certain kind of sense. If you've got that background noise of can't afford it, it's hard to take bold steps.
So affirmations aim to change that internal soundtrack, make it more empowering.
The second reason is about shifting from scarcity to abundance.
Right. Changing your whole focus. Instead of I'm always short, you affirm I'm a money magnet. It's about changing your perception of what's even possible.
And third, they talk about boosting confidence and spotting opportunities.
The source suggests that wealthy people often just expect to be wealthy. It's their baseline.
And that expectation influences how they act, what they notice.
Exactly. They're maybe more likely to see and grab opportunities. Affirmations, by building that belief in your own potential wealth, could maybe trigger a similar shift in awareness for you.
Yeah, the example they give really nails it.
Yeah.
Shifting from just, I hope I get rich,
to something much more active and confident, like, I am a magnet for money and wealth flows to me effortlessly. It's a different energy entirely.
Now, the source gets super specific. It offers a list of, what was it, 50 money affirmations?
Yeah, 50, all categorized by theme, which is kind of helpful.
Let's dip into a few examples from each category just to get the flavor and the little explanations they give.
Sounds good. First up, general wealth affirmations. Pretty straightforward stuff.
Like, I am a money magnet. Wealth flows to me easily. Very direct.
Yeah, affirming your ability to attract it. Or money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. That one opens you up to possibilities, right? Not just your salary.
Okay, then abundance mindset affirmations. These seem to target that core belief system.
Definitely. Like, there is more than enough for everyone, including me. That directly fights that scarcity thinking, the idea that it's a zero-sum game.
And I release all fear of lack and embrace infinite abundance. That's about letting go of the negative emotion tied to not having enough.
Next category, business and career success. So affirmations tailored for work.
Examples like, my work is highly valued and I am paid excellently, affirming your professional worth.
And opportunities for wealth constantly find me. Again, that proactive attraction idea, but focused on your career path.
Then we've got debt-free and financial freedom, big goals from many people.
Right. So affirmations like, I am debt-free and my money multiplies effortlessly. That's powerful getting out and growing wealth.
And this one's interesting. Every dollar I spend returns to me multiplied. Trying to shift the feeling around spending from loss to investment.
Kinda, yeah. Seeing money as flowing, not just disappearing.
And finally, gratitude and receiving.
Yeah, focusing on appreciating what you have and being open to more, like, I'm grateful for the wealth that surrounds me. Focusing on current blessings, even small ones.
Or, the universe constantly blesses me with financial miracles. That fosters belief in positive surprises, maybe. Unexpected windfalls.
It seems like they cover a lot of angles, trying to address different potential blocks or goals.
And the key instruction, the source really hammers this home, is repetition. Daily repetition.
And crucially with emotion, you can't just drone them out, apparently. You have to try and feel the feeling of having that wealth already.
Right, embodying it, not just reciting it.
And they actually lay out 5 specific rules for, making these affirmations work best.
Okay, what are they?
Rule 1, speak in the present tense. Always, I have, I am, not I will have or I want.
Makes sense. Reinforces that it's happening now for your subconscious.
Rule 2, use emotion. We just touched on this. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the security of having it now.
Easier said than done sometimes, I imagine, but okay.
For sure. Rule 3, repetition. They suggest 3 times, daily, morning, noon, night. Consistency.
Like building a muscle, maybe? Embedding it?
Kind of. Rule 4, combine with visualization. Don't just say it, see it. Picture yourself living that wealthy life. Use your mind's eye.
Engages more of the brain, perhaps.
And that's the idea. And rule 5 may be the hardest. Let go of doubt. Trust the process.
Ah, yes. The little voice saying, this is silly, it won't work.
Exactly. The source says you got to quiet that voice and just have faith, even if results aren't immediate. Doubt supposedly counteracts the effect.
And there's that pro tip, too, about recording them.
Oh, yeah. Record yourself saying your affirmations and listen while you sleep.
Because your subconscious is more receptive then.
That's the theory. Your conscious mind is offline, so the messages can sink in deeper, supposedly.
Interesting technique. Okay, so we've got affirmations, the rules, but the source doesn't stop there. It adds daily rituals.
Right, to kind of boost your overall money attraction. The idea is that financially successful people, according to this material, have certain habits.
Habits that keep them in a high money frequency?
Yeah, that's the term they use. It's about creating a whole lifestyle, almost, that aligns with wealth.
So what are these rituals? There are 7, right?
7 powerful ones, yeah. First is morning money meditation. Just 5 minutes visualizing wealth flowing in.
Okay, starting the day with that focus. Second,
Gratitude journaling, but with a twist. They suggest writing things like, "Thank you for the $10,000 that's coming my way."
so gratitude for future abundance, not just past.
Exactly. Expressing thanks for what you intend to receive. Third is scripting.
Scripting, like writing a movie script.
Sort of. Writing about your ideal financial life in detail, as if it's already happening now. Present tense again. Creating that vivid mental picture.
Okay. Fourth ritual, the money jar.
This one's physical. You actually put some cash, even a small amount, into a jar every single day.
As a tangible symbol of growth.
Yeah, making the idea of accumulation concrete. Fifth is about language. Avoid lack talk.
Meaning.
Consciously stop complaining about money, talking about being broke, focusing on what you don't have. The idea is that reinforces lack.
Makes sense. What you focus on expands, maybe. Sixth ritual.
Surround yourself with wealth symbols. Look at pictures of luxury. Listen to uplifting music. Maybe use scents you associate with abundance.
Creating an environment that feels wealthy.
That's the goal, aligning your surroundings with your aspirations. And finally, number 7, evening affirmation recap.
How's that different from the regular affirmations?
It's specific to ending the day, saying something like, "I had a wealthy day, more is coming."
Okay. Reinforcing the positive and setting expectation for tomorrow.
Exactly. It's a whole package deal, blending mental work with actions and environment.
Now, to kind of ground this, the source includes some success stories. Anecdotes, right?
Yeah. Right. Always need to take anecdotes as just that, but they use them as examples. There's Sarah.
Yeah, the one who reportedly went from just $5 in the bank
To $50,000 in 3 months. Attributed directly to using these affirmations and principles.
That's a dramatic turnaround, if true. And there was John.
John, who supposedly attracted a surprise $100,000 bonus, again presented as the law of attraction at work because of his mindset shift.
So the source presents these not as flukes, but as evidence that this stuff works.
Yeah, they're used to illustrate the potential power of applying these ideas consistently. They can definitely be inspiring if you're exploring this.
Okay, and wrapping it all up, the source proposes a 21-day money magnetism challenge.
A structured program to try and implement all this. It's broken into 3 weeks, 3 phases.
What happens in phase 1, days 1 to 7?
That's all about clearing out the old stuff. Identifying and releasing your limiting beliefs about money. Got to make space for it.
Makes sense. Laying the foundation.
Yeah.
Then days 8-14?
That's when you actively install the new programming. Consistently using your chosen wealth affirmations, really focusing on feeling them.
Building the new beliefs.
Yeah.
And the final week, days 15-21.
That's about taking inspired action. So using your new mindset to actually do things.
Like what?
Could be looking for investments, pitching a business idea, trying to increase sales, taking real-world steps aligned with your wealth goals, putting belief into practice.
And the challenge ends with one big final affirmation.
Yeah, a powerful one. I now command the universe to align me with wealth. Money comes to me easily, and I accept it with joy. Kind of like sealing the deal.
Wow. Okay, so to kind of pull this all together, this deep dive into money magnetism as the source presents it.
It really explores this potential link between your thoughts, your deep-seated beliefs about money, using affirmations consistently.
And how all that might actually influence your financial reality, your outcomes.
The core idea really is that maybe, just maybe, you're closer to a wealthier life than you think.
And that shift could potentially start just with changing your thoughts, your internal state. At least that's the perspective offered here.
And the source wraps up by encouraging you, the listener, to consider trying some of these affirmations, maybe developing more belief in your own power.
To potentially see some real changes in your own financial life.
Which brings us to our final thought for you to chew on. What parts of this whole exploration, this idea of money magnetism, actually resonated with you?
Yeah, are there any of these concepts, the subconscious mind, affirmations, the energy of money, that you might be curious enough to explore a bit more in your own life? Something to